Thank you for getting us all those key details. Aman, stay on with us. Let's put these questions, these key questions to our experts joining in this morning. Former IPS Vikram Singh joins us along with activist Yogita Bhayana. Mr. Singh, first to you. Aman has given us a lowdown of the questions that stand, the questions that must be asked to the CBI. With so much trust and faith being placed on a premier agency, if they're unable to build a watertight case, and as has been highlighted by Aman just seconds ago, where does this leave the victim? What are the questions on your mind, Mr. Singh, as we open this conversation?
Good morning, ladies. What Aman has said is absolutely lucid, cogent, and logical. I have seldom seen in my life this gross miscarriage of justice and perverse investigation trying to aid and abet a horrific and a predator accused. In this case, strictures were passed against the CBI, and very seldom have strictures been passed on the CBI because it is a multi-tiered investigation with at multi-level legal interpretation and logic. And not to mention also that the CBI advocate was changed midway because she was pursuing the case very vigorously. Perhaps it was very inconvenient to the powers that be, and lo and behold, you have somebody who almost gave a walkover to Sengar. And then you see the entire ecosystem, one part of the ecosystem, supporting a predator, the like of which a monster and a Frankenstein is seldom to be seen. And in my career, I have seldom seen somebody as perverse and as monstrous as Kuldeep Singh. Now to say he murdered the father of the prosecutrix, he murdered the two aunts, he in fact was a serial offender. And I don't know what compulsions are there for the CBI and the powers that be to be on the side of the assailant and not on the side of the victim. Aman also mentioned that in case of the victim, there are pages after pages in Justice Verma Commission, and Yogita will shed more light. Victimology and victim sympathy and empathy are an important aspect of criminal jurisprudence, and we have failed the victim yet once again, as we failed Nirbhaya. I really don't know what are the compulsions. Obviously, political expediency, that is the only answer that I can possibly give you. But it will bleed anybody's heart to see this level of miscarriage of justice. And Aman, I think whatever he has made, the fourth point, the last point would be that it is a systematic collapse of supervision of investigation, pursuit and vigorous pursuit in the court of law. And I think everybody sided with saying that.
And Mr. Vikram Singh, I would just like to point out one more thing to you as a question. You know, especially this 2019 matter, when the victim's family actually goes to the trial court and says they want additional charges, and this was under section 376 to F and K of the IPC. They said that these particular charges should be added against Mr. Sengar, and these charges, if they had been added by the trial court, in fact, would have ensured that he stayed in jail. He would have been considered a public servant, if not under POCSO, under the IPC. Look what the CBI says. The CBI in the court says, instead of siding with the victim, the CBI is saying that CBI has not relied on any such provisions. It would not back the victim's family case to add these particular provisions. In fact, it went on to say that the application was in fact dismissed by the trial court, and the High Court is now saying that this above order by the trial court in 2019 was not supported by the CBI. I think the CBI siding with Mr. Sengar and not with the family in the trial court for additional charges is something I have not really heard of in the past.
Absolutely, Mr. Raman. Just one sentence, that this is a foregone conclusion that everybody, not only the CBI, everybody was collusive in aiding and abetting Kuldeep Singh, and also their definition of public servant. You can't have this situation that show me the man and I'll show you the rules. In Narasimha Rao's case, MLAs were said to be public servants. Okay, I admit he's not a public servant, but he was very much in a position of trust and authority, and therefore he should have taken the harshest rap. But when you see something with a Nelson's eye, then I'm sure justice is a far cry. You're so very right, Mr. Raman, but I'm sure you are as hurt as anybody else on the panel and in the country.
Which also, unfortunately, Aman, Mr. Singh and Yogita leaves us with the question that the High Court's decision to suspend Kuldeep Sengar perhaps was purely legal. The High Court was not left with an option. Yogita, tell us what you make of that, and the constant crying that we've seen on part of the victim's family say that we have not been heard, that this is active collusion. All of that gets highlighted, stands validated today if we just go by the court notings and what the victims have been alleging.
So if you read the order, I mean, you will definitely be outraged and laughing at the same time. This is a very childish order where you can clearly see they are trying to find the ways to set him free. It is very evident because there are so many rape cases there. There are so many POXO cases there. Of course, the POXO was not as hard as it was after, this guy was convicted. But however, there are so many lacunas and you can clearly see the connivance. I would not mince my words because we don't have time for all that, kind of putting it that courts have done a good job. Definitely they are compromised. You can very much see from the language, not only me and you and Vikram sir, I think any child will read that, even a law intern, maybe even lesser age person can read that judgment and say how the courts are trying to find the ways and methods to release him. It's as simple as that. Now coming to another point, I was talking to the girl because of course we've been with her for many, many years. So we know the facts that she has not studied in the school as she's saying, which is mentioned that as per that record, her age was less than certain, like 18. However, okay, if there is a doubt in POXO, but there is no doubt that she was raped and gang raped later. Now what we want is, we want any rape victims, I mean, as per the law, new law, BNS, the law is very strict on any rape cases for that matter, even the molestation. And 7 years they are saying, okay, in the benefit of doubt, read the language, it is very funny. So they are having a lot of pendency of the cases and they have certain words using mercy on him. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, we feel very degraded that we try to work so much for women empowerment. Women empowerment will not come. Now, how many victims will come and report? Because he was such a high and mighty person. This girl had courage to report. She had courage to fight despite of so many, episodes in her life which were devastating. Her father was killed, her
and that's
lawyer
the
was
question being
killed,
asked,
her
Yogita.
aunts
Was she
killed.
right? Was
She
the
was
victim
critical.
right, justified in alleging active collusion? All of this does unfortunately point to